Welcome back to the farm, and we've got quite an interesting day going on. Today we're having some logging done on the farm. This is his trailer with all of his goodies here. He left it up here. He's got a skid steer and he is back on the farm cutting down some timber, which is another possibility of some extra income from your farm if you've never thought about having a forester come out and taking a look around the farm to see if you have any timber that might be harvestable. But everything they're taking today is walnut. They're gonna cut 15 trees, and I'll kind of show you. He's been cutting for a couple hours, and he moved a bunch of the brush out of the we had one taken out from right here, moving all the brush up here to a pile in the corner so that Keaton and I can kind of cut some of this walnut for probably firewood or something else. But I'll kind of show you how it's going so far this morning. So this is some of the logs he's pulled up here already. Like I said, it's all walnut. Definitely that brown end gives it away. But he's cut 3 trees and he's got 6 or 7 logs, no, 6 logs. And then he just put all this pile up here. This is kind of our parking area, so I thought this is probably a perfect area for him to kind of load all the timber up. We're gonna kind of cut through some of this. I think some of this up here would probably work pretty good for some firewood. Normally sell a little bit of firewood every season, so we'll cut this up this spring and let it dry over the summer for next year. So this is another one we took down here on the south side of the house, and it was dropping walnuts everywhere, just making a big mess. But he's taken the main part of the trunk already, so just gonna kind of check out and see how he's doing. He was gonna make a driveway back here by our sugar house. Oh yeah, he cleaned this out. He's gonna use this driveway right here to kind of come up and down the hill, so he doesn't have to go all the way down and around on our other drive. They've been cutting still. He drug this halfway up the hill. We'll go over to the pile. Keaton's with me. He got home from school. We got to do some scout out, checking, see what's happening. There was just these 2 walnuts here in this fence row that he took out. These are a couple nice ones, and it kind of cleans up our fence row, but it's a big disaster. There's plenty of firewood. Took that one out over there, and then he took this one out up here, and he made a pile of all the tops, and we'll cut on all of our firewood off. Taking only 15 trees out, it's not even going to really touch all the trees on our farm, that's for sure. So let me take you back here into the bowl as the sun is setting. This is where actually he cut most of the trees down in this area. That video earlier from when he was cutting was down by a guardrail section we have. Looks like he kind of cleaned this up too because it was getting real icy. And it's not really too frozen. He's hoping that it will freeze over tonight by exposing all this gravel. But down in there to the right is kind of where most of the trees were at. I think there was 4 or 5 down in there. Some pretty nice ones. He's kind of got them staged right here. So that he can drag them up the hill. But back in this section was where most of them were, and this is the biggest mess that's going to be in our hunting area. But it actually cleaned it out pretty good. And this section here to my right, up on this hill, is where we want to clean all this out. Eventually we need to get an excavator down in here and clean a bunch of stuff out for future plantings. But this was, I think he said there was 4 or 5 trees down in here. So that machine he's got is a beast. I'm gonna have him kind of move some of this stuff around into a pile and just leave it. Mainly that stuff back in there. It's a little bit too far, too close to the neighbors. So yeah, I think he's got everything cut in one day, and then tomorrow he's just got to clean up and load. And it's getting cold and pretty crusty. So I think he was getting wore out. So we're coming up out of the bowl, and you can kind of see on the other side where our tree planting is. They took out a couple big walnuts, which will be good because it'll reduce the amount of shade that's in this lower field section, and also get rid of all them walnuts that kind of cause reduced plant growth. If you've ever noticed that the chemicals in walnuts kind of are a natural herbicide. Not much stuff will grow underneath a walnut besides a walnut. So should help us out. We got plenty of other oaks, maples, and cherries, so I'm not too worried about the few trees we cut. And we did leave some walnuts on the farm for harvest in the future. There was some stuff that just wasn't big enough, so we left it. So hey, if you're looking for some extra income from your farm and you've got a wood lot, you might take advantage of some harvestable timber that's standing on your property. You want to talk to a local forester and get some bids, possibly for one or two. So hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.